Today, we're going to talk about the first appearances and key issues for the greatest day of the week. New Comic Book Day, June 16th, 2021. So let's get started. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr, and this is the SmallTown Collectibles YouTube channel. Before we jump in to the first appearances, key issues, covers, all those things this week, I want to ask you to hit that subscription button if you're not subbed up to the channel already. Turn on that notification bell so that you get notified when I put out new content. Hit that thumbs up button if you like the video, and leave a comment below and let me know if you're picking up any of these books this week, if there's any books that I'm missing that isn't on the list. As I say every week, I want this to be a discussion between myself and the community about the new books that are coming out. And if there's something out there that I'm missing that should be on this list, make sure you let me know in the comments, and the people who read the comments, to let them know what's up. So hang around too till the end of the video for a few announcements. But for now, let's jump into the new books this week, and we're going to start with our covers. So I do have a couple of covers this week. The first one is Jim Henson's Storyteller Trickster #1 variant. It's a 1 in 25 variant cover by Peach Momoko. Now, I'm not a huge Peach Momoko fan necessarily, but I really do dig the way this cover looks. Just the colors, just the whole thing just kind of works for me. And I know for those Peach Momoko fans out there, this is something they're definitely going to be on. But if you're not, maybe take a look at this one, because I really do dig this one, and I'm not necessarily a fan. Our second cover and our last cover this week on our list is the Catwoman #32 variant. This is the Jenny Friesen cover. Love Jenny Friesen's art. I'm a big fan of her cover art, but I really dig this Catwoman cover, and definitely one, if my LCS has it, that I'm going to pick up this week. So that's Catwoman #32, the Jenny Friesen variant. So that's the only two covers I've got this week, guys. So let's jump into our first appearances. A ton of first appearances this week. The first one is Legends of the Dark Knight #2. You've got the first appearance of Quiz, an ally of the Riddler. In Batman Chronicles #3, Riddler's henchwoman Quiz and Query debut, but are visually different than the character who's introduced in this issue. So that's Legends of the Dark Knight #2, the first appearance of Quiz. Then you've got Usagi Yojimbo #20, and you've got the first appearance of what's going to be a recurring character in this title, and that's Yukichi Yamamoto. Yeah, make fun now. Yukichi Yamamoto. Yeah. My hillbilly and those types of words just don't really go well together, but I tried. So A for effort, right? So that's Usagi Yojimbo #20, first appearance of a recurring character, and that's Yukichi Yamamoto. Yeah, I know. All right, next up, Nightwing #81. Nightwing is one of the best titles out there right now. I'm loving this run. And you've got the first full appearance and the first cover appearance of the new character, Heartless. If you're not on Nightwing, you need to jump on. I can't remember. This is number 81, so I think it's like 78 that this run started. Just phenomenal. Great read. One of the best Nightwing titles. I had dropped Nightwing for a while and kind of heard on a recommendation that this is one maybe I want to get back on. I'm glad I did. Great cover, and you got a first appearance, the first full appearance of Heartless this week in Nightwing 81. Next up, we've got Supergirl Women of Tomorrow #1, and that's the first appearance of Ruthie and the first appearance of Krim, the King's Agent. So that's Supergirl Women of Tomorrow #1 with a couple of first appearances in it this week. And last up on the first appearances list, we've got Heroes Reborn, Weapon X, and Final Flight 1. This is the first team appearance of the Canadian superhero team, Weapon X and Final Flight. So I know our boy, the Comic Vet's probably on this one. He's our Canadian brother. If you're not checking out his channel, make sure you do. A lot of good content over there with the Comic Vet. But that's Heroes Reborn, Weapon X, and Final Flight #1. And that wraps up the first appearances this week. Normally we would jump into the second prints of note, but there weren't really on the list this week. So now we're just going to jump into the honorable mentions. So we've got several books on our honorable mention list this week. We're going to start with Jupiter's Legacy, Requiem #1, and this is a follow-up to the 2013 limited series by Mark Millar. Then you've got Space Pirate, Captain Harlock #1, which also has a pretty dope cover. I really liked it. I didn't put it on my covers list just because it was a cover A, but it is kind of a cool cover. And this is based on the 1977 Magna series, which became an animated series in 1978. Then you've got the Batman Fortnite 0 Point #5. Those were really hot when they started out because of the code. I don't think they're as hot now as far as that goes on the secondary market, but this is #5, and I think there's 6 altogether. Then you've got Star Wars High Republic Adventures #5, the continuation of that series. You've got the premiere issue of Static Season 1, #1. And then you've got Captain America Annual #1, and this one features Overtime, Hector Bautista, the Time Stone, and this is the first appearance was in Infinity Wars, Infinity #1, 2018. And this event details the infinite destinies in the next chapter and the story of the Infinity Stones and the people with whom they've bonded. So a follow-up, or I guess the next story with these Infinity Stones, which would be cool, which we all saw play out in the Avengers series in the MCU. Then you've got Demon Days Marriott #1. This is a continuation of the Peach Momoko interpretation of the X-Men. The Fantastic Four #33, The Bride of Doom Part 2. This story is titled The Royal Wedding, and it's the wedding of Dr. Doom and Victorious. Then we've got Heroes Reborn #7. The Squadron Supreme of America face a mysterious new threat, the Avengers. Miles Morales Spider-Man #27. The Origin of the Clone. So you kind of got that whole clone saga going on with Miles Morales, and this gives you the origin of the clones. Then you've got Planet Size X-Men #1, and that's a one-shot tie-in to the Hellfire Gala story arc. Then we've got the Seven Swords #1. That's the famous literary swashbucklers D. Artagon, Captain Blood, Cyrano de Bergerac, Don Juan, and others team up against Cardinal Richelieu. Yeah, I am butchering all these names, whose quest for power has led to the supernatural. And then finally, we've got Star Wars #14, War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in. That's definitely one I'm picking up. I'm enjoying that War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in series. Those are our honorable mentions this week. Now let's jump into our top 5. Right, so #5 on our list this week is Berserker #3, written by Matt Kent and Keanu Reeves. Really enjoying Berserker. Great title. Mindless violence. I love it. The first 2 issues have been great, and I expect nothing different from issue 3. So can't wait to jump on Berserker #3, and that's why I put it at #5 on the list this week. #4 is Nottingham #4. This is issue 4 of the 5-part limited series. The Nottingham title has been crazy hot on the secondary market, and it's a good story. I have yet to be able to pick up a copy of the first print of any of these books. I've been picking up the second prints, and that's how I've been reading the story, and it is a great story. I may kind of hang around, let the FOMO wear off, and pick these books up down the road, at least the first prints of them. But for now, Nottingham #4 is #4 on the list. #3 on our list, and this is a book we've already mentioned earlier in the first appearances and key issues this week, and that's Legends of the Dark Knight #2, where you get the first appearance of Quiz, an ally of the Riddler. Anytime you have an ally, when it's mentioned like that, an ally of the Riddler, who is such a staple in the Batman stories, that's a book I'm definitely going to be looking to pick up and throw in my PC. Maybe for some spec down the road. You never know when a character like that could pop up in a movie or something like that if the Riddler is being featured. So that's Legends of the Dark Knight #2, and that's #3 on the list this week. #2 on the list this week is Represent #1, and the synopsis reads as this: anthology of stories from new creators who present relevant, topical visions of social change and personal histories, some true to life, while others are semi-fictionalized accounts of real experiences. And with this being Pride Month, a book that's talking about social change. You had the DC Pride #1 last week. This week you've got Represent #1. I think that's an important book, and really, as I said last week, you're kind of seeing a change in the types of characters that we may see going forward in the comic books. And so, like I said, with it being Pride Month, represent number 1, number 2 on the list this week. Can't wait to pick this one up and give it a read. All right, guys, it's time for number 1 on the list this week. And this is a book that has been hot, cold. We've gotten 1,000 variant covers for this title, but it is the last title on the current writer's run, and that is Venom number 200 / number 35. And that is the anniversary issue, and it's the end of the Kate Stegman run that began in May 2018. Of course, you've got Venom number 200, which is the legacy numbering, and then 35, which was when they kind of reissued this with Kate's. Kate's is jumping over to, I don't know if it'll be the Immortal Hulk or they'll call it the Incredible Hulk. And you've got Al Ewing coming over to Venom. But, you know, the Venom series with this Kate's run, like, it was massively hot early. And it's been a good read. Like, I've enjoyed the read. I know there's a lot of people that don't really like Kate's, but I've enjoyed this run of Venom. And there's some issues that have been great and some issues that have been eh. But overall, good run, and I think it's a run that, you know, years from now will be one that collectors will seek out as a run that they want to try to buy. So that's Venom number 200 / 35, and that is number 1 on our list this week. All right, guys, that is the list for the week. I hope this list helps you make some choices. New comic book day. Hopefully there was a few there maybe that you weren't looking at that you might go look at. I say it all the time. This is a great time for comic books as far as storytelling goes. Love reading the books each week, and my pull list seems to grow. It's really hard to call out the pull list each week. So, guys, I hope you have a great new comic book day. And before we close, want to remind you of our code with Street Level Hero LA, and that is STC10. That code will get you 10% off your order, but most importantly, 25% of your overall order will be donated to the American Cancer Society for cancer research. And then stay on the lookout for a new #GrowTogether video where we're going to spotlight some channels for you to go check out, and there will be a giveaway with that. So stay on the lookout for that. And guys, as I said, have a great new comic book day. I know I'm going to. As I always end these things, until next time.